behalf of my colleagues here, we've just come from a very important security meeting on matters affecting our people in Kerio Valley, particularly in security in our 3 counties. We are very happy that the whole security team involved in this matter, led by the CS, Dr. Fred Matiangi, and the PS and the Inspector General, have come to discuss with us a lasting solution on this matter. As leaders from that region, we have shared the concerns of the citizens. We have also shared what we think are suggestions of how we can deal with this situation. We have also heard from the CS and his team the measures they are going to put in place, as he's going to explain to you. On behalf of my colleagues, we have committed ourselves, one, to cooperate fully with the security agencies, to also sensitize our citizens on what they need to do in terms of supporting the security team, to make sure that we deal with the criminals. We've agreed that all these criminals will be dealt as criminals. They will not be shielded based on the community where they come from, their constituency, the county. Ours is to make sure that that region is safe for our citizens, and therefore we are going to give maximum support to the security team. We have requested the CS to also make sure that they bolster the security team that is on the ground and to work closely with the citizens from the local area. So mine is to just say that we, as citizens, we are going to support them. We pray that this will be the last time we are coming to meet in this manner, and that our people will go back to working together and working for development. You know that we have a voice as elected leaders. We'll use that voice for good to ensure that we unite the people, but also we rally them around the security team that is here to make sure that success is achieved. On behalf of my colleagues who are here and those who are not here, I believe that this meeting has been successful. There are people who think that myself, Honorable Governor West Pokot, and Senator West Pokot, Senator Baringo, cannot meet. But you can see we are talking and laughing with Governor Lonyangapo, my former colleague in the Senate, and Senator and Honorable Kamket is here actually, and all of us have now agreed that this is beyond us in terms of security operation. We leave it to the government, and we support them to make sure that they flush out all the criminals. Of course, we are also of the idea, want to see us, that as you deal with the security issues on the ground, protect innocent civilians so that they don't become collateral damage, so that they continue being the agents of change by volunteering information to you as who are the criminals. Asanteni sana, and God bless. Thank you. Oh, sorry.
Wakenya, kwa niaba ya wenzangu magavana ambayo counties yao inagusa Kerio Valley, we are about 4 or 5. Tumesimama na bwana CS na viongozi wote ambao wanatoka makaundi hizo kusema tumejitoa kabisa kusema mambo ya amani iwekwe mbele. Ile resolution ambayo tumeweka ni kwamba Wakenya wawe uhuru na waendelee kufanya kazi yao mahali popote, especially in the Rift Valley. Na bila kuwa na hofu, wawe na mali yao na ilindwe vizuri. Sisi tumecommit viongozi wote ya kwamba hakuna upendeleo, lazima kila mtu awe uhuru wakati wote, usiku na mchana. Na kama viongozi wenu, fuateni vile tumesema. Mjeuri moja akipatikana wale wanasumbua watu, semeni kuna viongozi ya usalama wako karibu, na sisi viongozi wenu tunaishi na nyinyi. Tutahakikisha kwamba kila mtu aendelee na maisha yake kama ya kawaida. Especially wale watu wa border sahi ya West Pokot, Turkana, Elgeyo Marakwet, Baringo, wenye walikuwa na msoso jana majuzi, kila mtu arudi kwake. Ile usalama tumethibitishwa sahi na CS Matiangi na timu yake, na mnasikia tukiongea sisi sasa kwa ulimi yetu. Muwe na hakika kwamba kila mtu rudi kwake, na mtu akipatikana anatembea na silaha, hata fimbo yenye inafanana kama punduki, fimbo yenye inafanana kama silaha yote ile, choma. otherwise utakamatwa. So sisi tuna hakika ya kwamba nchi yetu itaendelea kuwa uhuru kama vile tunaambiwa na viongozi wetu. Asanteni sana, tutaonana huko reserve kwa mambo ya maendeleo.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen of the press, first of all, I want to thank you for your patience and for coming here with us. Secondly, I want to thank the leaders of the North Rift, the governors who have been here, the honorable elected members of parliament. As the two representatives of those leaders have spoken, the Honorable Senator Murkomen and Governor Lonyangapuo, we've spent a better part of this morning here. The entire national security team led by myself and the Inspector General, the PS Internal Security, Dr. Karanja Kibicho, my colleague, Assistant Minister, Honorable Chebi Kilimo, and the rest of the actors in the security team to address the question of North Rift. And we have gone to great lengths to address recent challenges that came up in the particularly three counties, Elgeyo Marakwet, West Pokot, and Baringo. We have reached very useful resolutions. We have agreed that effective tomorrow, we begin a renewed operation to drive out of areas of Baringo North and Baringo South, the bandits that are in those areas, to try and help our people settle back to their normal lives. We have doubled our security deployment in this region. Already on the border of Elgeyo Marakwet and West Pokot, we have brought in 5 platoons of our special GSU teams. We are going to move a new AS2 camp, anti-stock theft unit camp, to Chesegon, which is going to provide security in that area to try and help our people as they move around there. We have again agreed on renewed redeployment in areas of Baringo North and Baringo South to ensure that all those citizens of our country who are evicted from our homes are resettled back. We are asking those who are occupying some of those areas illegally to leave, but unfortunately they only have between now and probably tonight to live peacefully. We are going to begin removing them ourselves tomorrow. And we will issue a new operational order immediately that will begin driving these people out to protect the lives of those people. We have taken many other measures in that respect. We have been conducting investigations in this region. I've asked the leaders here, and I'm grateful that they agree with all of us, that they will not shield, as Senator Murkomen said, they are not going to shield anyone involved in acts of confusion, incitement, and violence in this part of our country. So if all the measures that we have announced and agreed on today are implemented as we believe they will, we are going to operationalize all the administrative areas in Baringo North and Baringo South that had not been operationalized, the locations, the sub-locations, so that we man all those areas of administration. There are certain areas in Elgeyo Marakwet also that need to be operationalized, and we have agreed the county commissioner will review all of them. We operationalize them and have them appoint chiefs and assistant chiefs so that we begin to provide services close to our people and we begin to engage closely with our people. Finally, we have agreed that the leaders will now begin to have communal conversations, either using the Nyumba Kumi and the elders' councils. We are beginning to intensify communication and conversations across the border to try and bring our people together. I like the idea that all our leaders here have unanimously agreed that building a peaceful and conducive environment for coexistence is our responsibility, all of us. And we are going to work together, all of us. We have speakers here from the county assemblies. We have members of the county assemblies who are here with us. And of course, you have seen we have the senators and the members of the National Assembly. We have agreed we are going to work together on this matter. We will review this situation again, review the deployment that we have put here and the actions we have taken today in 2 weeks' time, and then see how else we will advance now the medium-term and long-term measures, including the building of the security roads and the opening up parts of Baringo that have got challenges just now. There are aspects or parts of these affected areas that will require deployment of our special police teams. They have been mapped out by the Inspector General of Police, and with immediate effect, he has pointed out to the police command on the ground where we are going to embed them. I don't have to give a long commentary on that because that's a security operation as it were. But finally, to assure the people of the North Rift that working together as we now do with the leaders here, peace will be restored, normalcy will come back, and they will go on with their businesses of building the country and building the nation. We would like the schools that have been closed to reopen immediately, and we are going to be there to facilitate them. We will provide security to the schools, either directly ourselves or through local arrangements that we are going to make with some NPRs to ensure that these schools are properly protected and our kids go back to school and learning is not disturbed again. So we will continue working at this. We are not deluded to think that this is a one-day, one-week affair. We have begun a journey together. Fortunately, we are all unanimous on that matter, and we'll begin working on this with the hope of keeping this place peaceful finally, because people in some of these parts of our country have been really disturbed, as it were. Thank you so much, good people, and all the best. One.
I'll summarize them in one. My name is Lana from NTV. First and foremost, the issue of disarmament has not come out clearly in this process, and we've had previous operations in that region that have never kicked off, and you've been on record at one point saying that the issue was support in terms of financing for your ministry to conduct this. So why is disarmament a key concern for this country? Why are we not able to do it? And what is the issue of the security in the northern part of the country?
You know, by the way, the truth of the matter is this. Save for the recent skirmishes and disturbances that began the other day, the area has been peaceful for a long period of time. And this is because of mainly three things. One, a successful disarmament that was conducted there from 2018 all the way to 2020. Two, the commitment and involvement of local leaders. Because every time we have been here, you have seen we are working very closely with the local leaders. Last time I had a meeting with the religious leaders and the elders who have been very deeply involved in intercommunal conversations and so on. And that has kept the place peaceful for a long time. And thirdly, of course, the security operations and the numbers that we put on the ground. From time to time, you realize that sometimes new challenges emerge or new threats emerge in terms of security, and we have to address them. Because insecurity is itself very dynamic, and it manifests itself in different ways. We are surrounded by, a very interesting environment. You know what is going on in Sudan, South Sudan, Somalia, Ethiopia, and so on. And therefore, because of our neighborhood, sometimes again, more, arms come in and more illicit guns come in, and then you will see this in some sort of sporadic rise in local incidents of crime, such as we are witnessing in the North Rift. This is why this is happening, and we'll go back again. We will never stop doing the disarmament. We'll go back again and do some more disarmament, even as we embed more security resources within the communities. And again, the most important factor is constant work with the communities and involving the local leaders, because they understand the area, they understand the terrain, they understand the people, and they are able to engage with the people much, much faster and easier than we can as even national government. And you can see the leaders' commitment here and how they're working on this. That's why I'm optimistic that we'll sort this out. Of course, I don't think that will mean the end of all these problems. They may come up, but we will reduce them to a point where economic activity is not as disrupted as it was recently now with the disturbance of learning in Baringo and so on.
Marian Nyambura from Citizen TV here. I'd like to ask a couple of questions, just to be precise. First is this situation drought related? Are we seeing this spike in cases? Is it drought related? Why causing the flare-ups? And lastly, is there a need to change this strategy? Because year in, year out, we see meetings coming up, and after the meetings, the bandit attacks still continue, still persist. So perhaps is there a need for a change of strategy from this ministry?
No, it's not. You see, it's not strategy. Let me, if you jog your memory and go back to where we've come from, the scale of security challenges we used to deal with in the past in this part of our country is nothing compared to what we are dealing with today. In fact, counties like West Pokot are now totally peaceful. You can almost declare them completely peaceful because of the investments the county government has done, the workings with the national government, and so on and so forth. We are making tremendous progress. The scale of the challenges we have had reduces as we go by. The more we engage, The more we deploy, the more resources we bring on board, we experience changes. I'm very optimistic that we are moving further and further away from some of these disturbances. There's been a huge change, and look at the level of engagement by the leaders. And then in the past, sometimes we couldn't even have meetings of this kind, and you can see now the constant commitment from the leaders to work at this as we go along. We are creating new administrative units, bringing in new resources. There is new economic activity that the communities are engaging in, and we are opening up the areas through the new security roads we are going to do in Baringo North, for example, and Baringo South. The area is getting more and more opened, and then that is the way to the future. It is not going to happen in 1 week or 1 month or 1 year. It's a journey we have to keep walking, and I'm happy that we are all unanimous and we are together with the leaders to walk that journey to bringing a lasting solution to this problem. So I'm very optimistic that we are able to resolve this. This is nothing compared to what we dealt with in the past. I mean, even in the case of illicit firearms, the scale we were dealing with in the past was like 10 times what we are handling right now. And that's why we are optimistic that we are going to resolve this. So the strategy we have deployed has worked, because that is why you can see a decline in the scale, the number of cases and so on. Even as we experience this challenge, I know that after today, for example, by next year we will have a better situation. So it has nothing to do with the drought, as it were. I mean, there could be other economic issues. Sometimes there could be a political issue here and there, or sometimes just a basic, straightforward case of criminals, taking advantage of a peaceful environment. Thanks.
We have another event at the regional training center.
Hello?